Today is July 28th, 2024. It is Sunday morning, about 9:35, 36 a.m. in the morning. I made some tea. Normally, we have tea on Saturday mornings, and that was a long time. We kind of had that tradition. We would have tea on Saturday mornings, and rest of the days of the week we would have coffee. But recently it's been a little random here and there. Yesterday Alice, my daughter, she really wanted to have some pancake and waffles. So I made that, and with that, coffee was more kind of tastes better, so I made coffee yesterday instead, and today I made the tea. And in India we have this concept of tea and biscuit, which comes from, I think, when British ruled India, and tea was a big thing. It is still a big thing, so it's kind of called, it's like English tea, so you use the loose tea leaves, and I also put the cardamom, ginger, and sugar, of course, and some milk. And it tastes pretty good. It almost tastes a little bit like latte, what you'd get from Starbucks. So anyway, it turned out really, really good this morning. And believe it or not, when I noticed that when my bucket is full, when I'm feeling better, the food that I cook tastes extra good. I remember that in the videos from BK Shivani, she has a channel on YouTube. I used to listen to her a while ago. Recently, I haven't listened to her videos much, maybe like a month ago, one or two. And there she talks about where, how everything is energy, and when we are feeling good, and when we are making something, cooking something or anything with the mindset that is feeling good, that energy is transformed, and in the food also. So not only it works like as if it tastes good, it also works like sort of like it heals your body. So I believe that, because everything is energy, and even in Wayne Dyer videos, he talks about everything is energy. Like this book, How to Relax Thich Nhat Hanh book, I talk about it a lot in my videos. And I've been reading this book recently, The Book of Joy, Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu. Yeah, I actually didn't know about this book. It was kind of random the other day when I went to the library, and this book was available, and I picked it up. And interestingly, the day I picked it up, I work in IT industry, and I heard that the day I picked it up, it is on the same day when Mark Zuckerberg, the Facebook CEO, he came up with this software called Llama software, I think. It's just like a Chat GPT competitor. So I thought it was a very interesting coincidence. Then the same day I picked up the book. I know it's kind of random, but my morning videos are kind of a lot of random thing I talk about. But it does keep me in that zone where I continue the mindfulness practice, and it's almost like a journaling. And if any of you, as you watch this video, I always encourage you to also do journaling, either private, public, video, whatever you feel comfortable with, either on YouTube or you write it down, because this has been helping me beyond ways I actually imagined when I started this about 2 months ago, May 27. And I have continued the practice even on days where it seemed impossible. I didn't have the time. I kind of made sure to do at least one or two videos, like even if it's like a super quick 1 minute. I did it not for, excuse me, excuse me, not for anything else, but it was more about the continuity because um, I was watching this Buddhism channel, so it's called Buddhism, and there is a monk who is in Sri Lanka, and I've been trying to look for his name, and it's hard to find. I couldn't find his name anywhere. Anyway, he's a very young monk, and he has this very nice smile, and he has dimple. So if you see it, see that channel, you'll know who I'm talking about. I used to watch his videos a lot in December, January, when I was going through very difficult times, um, and when we think about difficult times, um, it's all in our mind. I mean, yes, our external world can get very challenging, more challenging than ever before, but at the same time, how we can um, process it, right, internally, and what we are doing uh, to ourselves to learn and grow. All of that is what creates the future reality, meaning what has happened until now in the past is past. We can't change it. Yes, we can change the perception about it. The things that has happened. Now, how I look at it, that's what could make my present better, and that's what that present can make the future better. Because, and a lot of it goes with these things that, let's say somebody has done something wrong to us, we may look at that event in the past um, with anger. Then the emotion that will get produced in our mind internally is different, which could or would create a future that is not as pleasant. Similarly, the same past event, if we look at it with compassion and forgiveness, and and looking at it like, say, if somebody has done something wrong to us, that they were suffering, they didn't know any better, um, and we look at it in a compassionate eyes with and forgive them, then that emotion that gets generated in us, that is going to create a more pleasant uh, current time, present situation, which will give birth to a better future, right? So it is important to forgive, as hard as it may be, because they say when we forgive the events and the people who might have done something challenging, just look at it as a learning experience, right? We come to this art school, the term I heard from Wayne Dyer videos, and I think it's so amazing um, because if we look at it from that perspective, the all the challenging experience becomes just like a testing ground for us, and not in a bad way, because it helps us to learn and grow. And the way I look at it, learning and growing, is that it's like a rubber band, right? So we have our comfort zone, and that's where we want to be. But when a challenging situation happens, we try, and then the rubber band grows. And for some people it might be this, and this is what they can handle because this is all their life they have dealt with. For some people it might be this, and we can't really compare the journeys of two people because the where we are born and how we grew up, it's different. So if I were to compare my life's journey with somebody else's journey, which could be harder or a lot easier, it won't be a fair comparison. So we can only compare our life with ourselves. am I doing better than I have done a day before or a month before, a year before? Did I grow? Did I learn? Have I become, and when I say better, I mean more peaceful, more kind and compassionate, not necessarily material wealth, right? Material wealth, yes, that does make life easier. But when it comes to our peace of mind, we all know that a person who live paycheck to paycheck may live a happier and more peaceful life than somebody who is a billionaire, because that happens all the time, right? So it all comes down to uh, having that wisdom of being grateful for the things we have. So um, I think it is on the Think and Grow Rich book by Napoleon Hill. And he doesn't talk only about getting rich with like material rich to become. Um, he talks about your desire. If inner peace is your desire, like that is becoming rich. And I think that's what he talks about, or I could be missing like from which book I got that information from, but it stuck with me. And I pray, when I pray, this is what I pray, that so for God to give me the wisdom to be grateful for what I have, because what we have, there's no limit to it, that what you can ask for from God or what you can accumulate, right? You can accumulate lots and lots of money and still not be happy. But if you are happy doing what you do, and then if you live a peaceful life, that's what counts the most, right? So having the wisdom to be grateful for what we have, and at that point, no matter if we have little or a lot, we still will be happy. So anyway, I think, and that was the thought process I think I had a couple days ago when I had an interview after like 5 or 6 months. I don't know if that is going to move ahead or not. Even if they do, there'll be like 4 more rounds, he said. But the way I felt after the interview, where it seemed like that I talked about people's happiness and all of that in a team, because for me that's a big factor. And when it comes to profitability and revenue, I probably talked a little less, which I do have to focus on in my future interviews, because they do want to hear that. Because yes, I understand business is a business. They need the money to grow and keep growing and all of that. But yeah, I think I have been a little away from those kind of materialistic thought for a little bit. It's not that I didn't think, because of course, like, to live life, to live a decent life, to do fun stuff, you need money. But anyway, so where I was going with it is the way I took it after the interview, that, oh, okay, so, if it's meant to be, if it's supposed to be a harmonious job, this is supposed to what I want to attract, it'll happen, versus the way I would think in the past is different. So this mindfulness practice really, really does make a difference. And I know that today I'm kind of talking random in the beginning. Normally I try to talk about the progress, then my random talk, and then I do the grounding. But today, for some reason, I'm just, I got into the random talk first. I guess I talk about the progress a little bit, and then again get into the random talks. So yeah, the progress yesterday, it was, yeah, I'll actually come back to the progress a little later, because I do want to capture this part this morning. So when I was making the tea, Then at the sink, I was washing my cup from yesterday, and this is the cup I use today also. Every day is a fresh start. I've been using this cup for a couple of days now because I have some write-ups over there, sort of like affirmation, which I've been reading for like 6 years now, almost every morning. Even on my busy mornings, I read them. So one of them is choice is life's golden ticket. Today is a new day. This part comes from a YouTube video. It's not my writing. Choice is life's golden ticket. Today is a new day. But after that, I added a line a couple of days ago. That line I added is, today I am a new me. Today I am a new me, with a smiling face. Because I want to remind myself that every morning when we get up from bed, it's a new version of ourselves, and you can consider it as a new birth. And it's up to us, the how we think. It's all in here, right? So if we think that today on, I'm going to be a better version of myself than I was yesterday, that's what counts. So, and in this cup, it kind of somehow, even this morning, every day is a fresh start, reminds me of that. And this is actually from Dollar Store. If you have Dollar Store around you, you can go see that they sell these cups with nice writing. I think so far I have gotten several of them. If you buy this type of cup from Amazon, it will cost you like $15 each of them, and Dollar Store for $15, you'll get 10, 12 of those. Anyway, so I have 5, 6 of them different right up. The messages are very positive. So when I drink coffee or tea in the mornings, I use those cups, and kind of helps me with it's like another positive dose of thing for me. So anyway, I keep getting distracted. So what I was saying, I was making the tea, and in the sink, when I was washing the cup, I was really, really genuinely feeling the cold water in my hand, and also I was looking out the window, because I have a window next to the sink, like you can look outside in our backyard and wash the dishes. And I was feeling the cold water in my hand, and that comes from with mindfulness practice. And I remember that in Thich Nhat Hanh books, he talks about this kind of things a lot. And a few years ago, Gelong Thapten, he is a Buddhist monk, and I think he gave talks at LinkedIn, Google. He has some videos on YouTube. I wish he had more talks on YouTube. His talks are also so amazing. He would talk about the mindfulness practice, like when you brush your teeth, feel the bristles on your teeth, or when you're washing your hand, really feel it, right? So it's not about just feeling the cold water in your hand at that time. It kind of sets your mind in a way that every event or activity that you're doing throughout the day, you are with it, and you are not thinking hundreds of different things, because our mind keeps going to the past events, and unfortunately a lot of time the events that are unpleasant, and the future worries, even though we know that we can't do anything by worrying. In fact, by worrying too much, we can attract the bad, but our mind goes there, and that comes from actually. So I'm reading this book, the Book of Joy, Desmond Tutu and Dalai Lama. I got it from the library a few days ago. So yesterday, so an interesting thing in this book, I'm going to read a little part of it where it says, research conducted at the Institute of Neuroscience and Psychology at the University of Glasgow suggests that there are really only 4 fundamental emotions, 3 of which are so-called negative emotions. fear, anger, and sadness. The only positive one is joy or happiness. Exploring joy is nothing less than exploring what makes human experience satisfying. So only one is happiness, but three others, fear, anger, and sadness, is negative. So it kind of goes back to the subconscious and the conscious mind concept, where subconscious is all about survival, right? So the fear, anger, and what was the other thing? Sadness. Fear, anger, sadness. Sadness comes usually from the past, and anger is kind of associated with that, and the fear is from the future, because the anxiety and fear that a lot of time happens in the future. And the joy and happiness can happen usually only in the present. But there, if we are mindful enough, there are also ways to be happy in the present if we choose. And again, it goes to our mind, what we are choosing to think, right? We can think about the happy thoughts from the past and invoke those happiness from the past. So about 4 months ago, my daughter Alice and we went to this little resort in Pennsylvania, and we had so much fun. And I keep thinking about that quite a bit here and there, and I invoke happiness from there. But a lot of time I forget. So same thing, if you had whatever you enjoy, if it's a trip or something, or it could be just going to the mall, whatever made you happy, or a good meal that you had with your family a week before, or an event like a family gathering or something. Talk about that with your family or your friends, and like they would call savoring food, but you can savor that experience again, that good experience again, and your mind would be tricked in a good way to relive that moment a little more. And every time you do that, it just creates a good those good hormones, whatever they call, like oxytocin, dopamine, or something like that, to make us feel happy. Ultimately, everything is thought, and the thinking, feeling, action, thinking, feeling, action. It's like a triangle. And when I talk about things, a lot of time what I say is like feeling is automatic. Feeling comes from what we are thinking. So we don't necessarily have to. We can't. It would be good if we can push the feeling, but feeling unfortunately happens automatically. And what we can to control our thinking, we just have to take some action. In my opinion, it's like the positive action, right? And this thinking can also be an action. It's more like a passive action, but it is an action. But if we want to think positive, there are many different ways to do the positive action. And sometimes it could be the neutral action, what can make us think positive. Like in my case, sometimes when I feel stress building up in body, I go to the gym, and say if I can't go to the gym, I figure out other ways. Like, I don't know, if I go to the library, to Starbucks. And these days, since I don't have a job, my schedule, even though there are a lot of doctor's appointments and whatnot, it's a little bit under my control. So it is a little easier, but then I'm trying to figure out a schedule where even when I start working, I'll be able to continue this practice, which is the biggest reason I started this channel, is that Thich Nhat Hanh would say that Sangha is important. Sangha is like the community, because without the community, it is so easy to give up the practice. And I really, really have learned that, have experienced that. As I was doing my healing, and thank you, God, I really, really thank you that I'm grateful that I had the time to heal myself to the point that I feel ready to get back to the workforce and to give back, make a positive impact in the world, even by working, because it's been a while now. Uh, yeah, 6, 7, 8 months. Um, Not many people have that opportunity or option. So I feel grateful. I have worked many years, a little over 20 years. So this time was important for my family and the situation that we're going through with Alice's doctors and everything. Excuse me. And sometimes that's something we need to do. And midlife mindfulness, right? This channel that I created is with that. At midlife, we kind of we are in a point where we can look at our um, life, our experience, and everything until now, and then how we want to live the rest of our life, right? What is most important? Is inner peace most important? Is accumulating money most important? Is traveling more important? You just look at your life and see how you want to live life, because this is the time when we really know and realize that life is not forever, and we are more closer to, I don't know, more closer to the end than the beginning, right? Because when you're in your 20s, it seems like life is going to go forever. Everything is permanent. I mean, at this age also we forget, and we make little things as a big thing, and then we try to remember it's not. Um, So I think we get a little more mature. Now, people in 60s or 70s, they might say we are not mature enough. And that's true, because the life experience as we go through at 40s, 50s, that will help us to get there, right? At every stage of life, we have different kind of learning, because um, the experience that we go through in life is what teaches us, and it is up to us that we are ready to learn or not. Sometimes you'd see that people at 20s, they are so mature, and they would they would talk about things like as if they had so much wisdom, right? um I have a couple of friends who are about my age, but when I talk to them, I'm like, oh my God, how come they know about this field so much? Because they have experienced it. They went through those challenges, and that's how they know. And so yeah, it's all about the experiences we go through and what we choose to do with that experience, right? We want to learn from that experience, or we just we just put it aside, thinking that's just another thing. If we want all the difficulties in our life, which I mentioned in other videos too, is a lesson that is trying to teach us. So yesterday, a friend of mine and her friend, and again, they're so nice. I mean, the kindness, the goodness of people, I am so amazed. And I think, and that's another thing, like, when we go through the difficulties in our life, um, if we are ready to see, we get to see the niceties of people around us, people who are willing to help. I mean, this person, I don't even know her, and she was praying for me. She was praying for me. I mean, imagine that, right? Like, she doesn't even know me. Um, those are the kindness. I'm so blown away, blown away. And those are the things I think I won't get to see if everything was going perfect, right? Or everything was going good in life. Um, so the challenging situation helps you to see the kind of goodness that you'd see in the world that otherwise we don't get to see. So I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for that. um, and it helps me to learn these things. I try to be kind and nice and compassionate to people, but this teaches me even more ways to be kind and nice to people. I don't know, right? Because I'm seeing that she is doing that for me, so I can do that for somebody else, right? So she has nothing to gain by praying for me and trying to help me, but it is that human connection and being there for each other. To It's that it reminds me of that there are some pictures online where I think it was in Jay Shetty's videos I saw recently, that's why it stayed in my mind. I know that he has some recent controversies, but I try to learn the good. But anyway, like holding someone's hand up when they are down, you try to pull them up, and you try to do that to the people you know. And if you can do that for the people you don't know, that's like the ultimate, right? That's the ultimate kindness and niceties that we can show to this human race, because everybody in this life, they're struggling with something or the other. And I'm sure the person who's trying to help me, she might be going through some things too in life, right? Because everybody have some challenges, and excuse me, and sometimes you forget about that. And so I want to be there for those people too, for their happiness, and I want to pray for them too, and I will do that, because I think in the Dale Carnegie book, he also says that you can be friends with people in 2 months by something like by caring for them, versus you can spend 2 years by kind of talking all about you, right? So in this channel also, if you need support or anything, I'm so grateful that people are supporting me by subscribing or commenting. If you need help or something, you can comment. And I think I have my email too on the channel page. If not, I'll add. And then you can email too. I will be there to support, because that goes with the people that some of the people I don't know, they're praying for me. I would pray for you, and then so that your day gets a little bit better, your week and month get a little bit better, because especially different days are different today. I mean, thank God that we Alice and I, we do this bucket filler thing. So today she and I have little fun things planned to do. We're gonna go to the Buddha temple in about a couple hours. They have some festival going on. So, and they have some food stalls when they have festivals. So I'll go there. Alice is excited to go because sometimes they sell those spring roll and the crunchy spring roll. So she really likes them. So she's excited more about that. And about 3 months ago when we went, she was kind of chanting with them. It was in Thai language. And I didn't really know how to do that, but she also didn't know, but she was kind of like moving her mouth with even the Thai words, and it was funny. But she kept wanting to do, so she's gonna do that if she wants, and then I probably will too. And then after that, we're supposed to go to a friend's place. She's not gonna be there, but her mom and her daughter, she's 1.5 years old, is gonna be there. So it'll be like a little play date type of thing. So that's what we have planned for today. So that probably will make Alice happy and me happy too. So looking forward to that. And starting tomorrow, I do have to do more job applications and stuff like that, so that eventually I land a job. And in 2 weeks, we have a little vacation coming. I just booked a vacation before Alice's school starts, because she went through a lot this spring and summer with the health situation. So I really, really hope all of that goes well, because then she will have some big bucket filled up with positivity. A friend and her daughter is also supposed to come there, so hopefully all of that goes well. And then she'll have some big bucket filled up with positivity before she starts her third grade. So looking forward to that. Yeah, so I kind of want to talk about the progress. Yes, yesterday I did make some good progress. So friend of mine, her friend, and me, we did a little praying, and that made a difference. And that's what I would say, that any God that you believe in, continue the praying. There is this this force, that invisible force that is there in the world. You call it God, universe, collective consciousness. You follow Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity, or Islam, or Judaism, and any other religion that's there. I don't even know. Maybe there might be others. Or even if you're atheist, I think then atheist people, I don't know exactly what they believe in. Maybe they believe that there's a conscious can do things. Whatever that you believe in, there is that something that can help, that can make things better. So you just have to believe in it. Like Abraham Hicks would say, that you ask the universe what you want, and don't go for the how. You do your part. You be a good person, and believe it'll happen, and get into the receiving mode. Because when you can get into the receiving mode is when you'd finally receive it. I think for myself, I'm going to use this funny example. Like, we are asking for something, and to be ready to meet with that, we have to have this ready, right? So if I have this like this, no matter what I'm asking for this, and it's not gonna fit, right? So being ready means, receiving mode means, because we're like trying to control the outcome. The outcome is this, it's there, it exists in the universe. So for us to be ready means to get into the receiving, our frequency need to be like this so that it can fit, right? So that it can fit. So to getting into the receive, our job is, after we ask for this, our job is to get there. And it's not easy. That comes with in some way, our niceties and our inner world to be more clear, so clear that we know this is what we want, this is what we're working for. And then the outer world will just come in and fit into this. So we don't have to do anything. I mean, yes, we do have to take action, good action, but not necessarily to go for the how. Not necessarily to go for the how. The how will come because the universe or the God, whatever we believe in, they will make things happen in a way that's there and that's coming and fitting. So that's what I'm trying to pray, that I can get to that goodness, my own goodness, right? As I'm trying to transform myself, that I continue in this journey. I have strength and resiliency in me, that I continue in this path to keep working on myself, right? That's what we can do. We can keep working on ourselves, because especially when you have a kid, they follow us without knowing. So I have this gratitude card. I'll show you. I got this from Amazon. Alice and I played with it a few times, and there's one card, and it says, I think, some of the questions are so nice. Some of the, one of them was like, who's your mentor or something, mentor or guide? And then one time when we were playing, she said, Mommy. And, they say that kids, you become their, what's this word? It's like untold mentor or something, right? Because kids learn more by seeing than what you tell them. and I can't find the card, but anyway, it was about your mentor or guide. And she said, Mommy, and I felt so proud. I'm trying to be a better mom, and I wish I can be even better. So that's why I work on things, because I know that now this is a smart girl. She's gonna inspire many people, I hope. And I'd like her to inspire with goodness, kindness, and all that. There used to be times where from school we would hear that she made this kid. It was a few years ago. The kid was crying, and she was, I think, 4 years old. Alice was 4 or 5 years old. The kid was crying, and then she sat with her. Alice sat with her, and she told that kid that, oh, think happy thought. And later from school, they told us that in the evening when we want to pick her up. It was such a proud moment as a parent. And there were other times where from her school, I think there was something in the hallway, and she picked it up to help the janitor. And also in her class, the pencils would fall down or something from some kid, and she would pick it up and give it to them. So there were so many things she would do. And there was one experience I remember. She was in her kindergarten, and they had this thing called fun run at school. So all the kids, they were running in a circle, and another girl, she fell down as she was running. All the kids kept running, and Alice actually stopped to help that kid. And that was such a proud moment as a mom for me to see. I'm like, nobody told her, and she did that. She was only like 5 years old. I would want her to keep doing that. Recently, it has been a little challenging because I think with all the frustration of her arm and other health situation, it's been a little challenging for her. We don't hear those much, but I totally understand. With all the challenges going on, she's also feeling a little frustrated and sad. So hopefully, again, I would go back to what Wayne Dyer says: focus on what you want rather than what is. So I am not going to talk much about that. I'm going to focus, and I'm going to do the intention setting and visualizing, because I've noticed that that makes a big difference. Intention setting helps, but visualization with it really strengthens the subconscious mind, because ultimately, even in my world, what Alice is doing is what I'm attracting, right? It's tuning myself with that. So I'm going to do, so I talked about the progress. I did make good progress yesterday, especially after the praying. I think I was more positive and kind, and focused on the good. So, and then talked about my random stuff for almost this whole video. And I'm going to do a little grounding with my senses, and also try to do my intention and visualization. So I'll probably do it at the end. So now let me try some grounding. Think of my body as water, how Thich Nhat Hanh would say. Because normally we think our body is the wave, the agitation and the anxiety, but we forget that our body can be just still, like calm water, like the middle of the ocean where it's calm, whereas at the shore you see the waves. So calm water. Or you can think of it like a river, like where you get to see the clear water at the bottom of the river. Even just a little bit of practice helps. It doesn't have to be an hour, but if we do every day a little bit, that helps. So I'm going to focus on my hearing. I hear a little tiny sound somewhere far away, and I hear myself talking. And I see the colors of different objects in the room, yellow. Actually, today I'm going to try with the chakra colors. So I'll start from the root chakra. I see red in the room. And then comes the orange. I see orange, yellow, solar plexus. Green is the heart chakra. And then blue, the throat chakra. Light blue, dark blue is the Ajna chakra, which is also the third eye. And the crown chakra is the purple. So those are the eyesight and the taste. I taste the tea I had this morning and the biscuits. And from last night, I had taco. So I taste the bean, the taco, the tomatoes, the lettuce, some onions, chili flakes. I kind of make the taco bean from dry beans. So we had the taco from that yesterday. And the temperature in the room, I feel a little bit cold, but it's kind of pleasant cold. It's not cold. I feel my shirt, my legging, and the blanket, and the bed sheet, the pillow on the back, and my bracelet. It's a chakra bracelet. I wear also to remind myself more than anything. Lately, I've been wearing the green one because I want to really focus on the heart chakra, the love, the string here. And as far as thinking goes, which is our sixth sense, I'm thinking more about the Buddha temple and the festival and going to my friend's place. So these are good feeling. And that's what I was talking about. Sometimes, even if we can't think literally right at the present and we are thinking about the future or the past, it's okay as long as we are thinking about the good thoughts, right? Because that still helps us to feel better. Because like I was saying, feeling is automatic. It's the action, even if it's the passive action of thinking or doing something, as long as it's neutral or positive, it's going to create positive feeling. So anyway, I'm going to do the intention setting and visualization for the rest of the weekend. And the upcoming week, we have some doctor's appointments, so I'm going to hope for everything to be better. And Alice will also go probably for the swimming on Wednesday. It'll be her first time. I'm a little nervous, so I'm gonna this season she knows a little bit of swimming but not much, so I'm gonna be praying and hoping all goes well. It's the mommy worry. Okay. And highly encourage you to also set good intention and visualize it that it's going well, because that does help with our subconscious mind. Okay, so oh yeah, I just got to do my mantra. Well, there's one last thing and then I'll finish this video, because today, since it's going to be a busy day, I might make one or two videos at the Buddha temple, and then maybe end of the day I might make one more quick one. But as you all know, the morning one is the longest one I do. So okay, accept all the things, anything I can change and not change or whatever it may be. Accept everything in a positive way, because that's what is most important, so that there's no resistance, right? That clears, that keeps it clear, our mind and body and everything. Accept everything. And I speak only nice, kind, positive and uplifting words. My heart chakra, love, understanding, peace, harmony, family, joy, happiness. Excuse me. Care for others, understand others' sufferings, forgive. All of these are part of the heart chakra too. Like, I gotta remember that, right? If somebody, friends, family, co-worker, if they do something to us to make us feel differently, you gotta remember that maybe they are suffering in a certain way, and that's why, because they are doing their best too, like we are doing our best. And Nobody wants to be in the autopilot, right? But our life, our circumstances makes us to get there. And if we can remember that, because, um, we as human being, when we see that somebody is suffering, if they have a physical cut and in their arm or leg or something, we have compassion for them because it is so easy to see, right? But then when people have cut in their minds, it's not easy to see. It's not, we don't understand, especially if they try to hide it, which is majority of the world. They try to hide it, right? So we don't see. We just have to remember that everybody has cuts and many cuts in their mind. So if we remember that, that would help us to be more kind and compassionate towards them. And that's what I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to remember that more and more. Um, that everybody has many cuts. They grew up with many, many cuts. And some we get to see, some we don't get to see. We may live with the person for 20 years, 30 years. We still may not know because they don't know how to show it. They don't know how to be vulnerable, right? Being vulnerable sometimes is a good thing because that's how you get to share what you have been through, and people will be more compassionate, but they just don't know how. Anyway, I share some, but since this channel is public, I share some, but I don't share some. It's normal, right? Because there's only so much you can share in the public videos. But anyway, I'm grateful though that I am learning from this experience, and I'm continuing this practice because you need some constant in your life, right? So these are my one constant, along with the sun, the moon, the cloud, the blue sky, the trees, the mother earth, like how Thich Nhat Hanh would say, the Buddhism, the spirituality is a constant. I continue to remind myself, especially in these videos. So anyway, moving to the next, my belly is the patience, and belly is where we have, when we take a deep breath, just when your life gets challenging, there's some challenging situation happening, we do shallow breathing, right, only to our lungs. And if we can go deep to our belly, it helps us to calm down, but we forget to do that, right? So this is another thing, like the mudra, this position is inner peace mudra. So when I remember, sometimes I try to do that in a challenging situation, same thing, taking a deep breath. It will remind you of patience, which is why also I am attaching these mantras with my body parts, because then it's at some point I think it will be so easy to remember, because it's creating that path in our brain, that it becomes the second nature, right? Excuse me, I'm sneezing a lot today. Left arm, I'm in the present moment. Right arm, I'll be kind. And one of the picture I have printed there is, what good shall I do today? I'll be kind and nice, and I'll remember to smile. I think in Dale Carnegie book he says that something he says in a better way, but it's like smiles means a lot when you give it away, right? You get it more by giving it away. Smile is that one thing. So you give away more smile, and then you get it back, because people smile also. Majority of the people, 90% of those people will smile when you smile. And my left leg is about forgiveness. You have to remember to forgive people. Just sometime when things get hard or it's hard to forgive, just remember that by forgiving, you are freeing yourself. That's what they say. Forgiving is not about the person. Even if you don't want to speak to that person who hurt you, it's okay. But if you can forgive and let go, it frees yourself. And last night I was listening to a letting go video from the Insight Timer app. And in that video, she was talking about letting go of anger, letting go of anxiety, letting go of fear. And I thought it was such a good one, because letting go of resentment and all of that, because when we don't forgive an event or people, those are the emotions that we hold on to, right? And what happens is, in that, I don't know if it's if I consider it's my box, my eyeglasses. So this is our emotions where we have lots of cuts and things happen. There is an anger and whatnot. When we let go of those, we just remove them. I know it's a random thing, but I'm using it for my own realization. So let's say there's lots of scratches and stuff. The scratches are those challenging emotions and the sadness and whatnot. So when we let those go, they become clear, right? We let those go. So we just have to keep remembering them to let them go as often as we can, because it keeps building up. Because, like I was saying from this book, the Book of Joy, where they said 3 of the emotions out of 4 main emotions are negative, only one is positive. So they keep building up with our subconscious mind. Even if we want to live fully present in this current moment, um, and as the day go by, things happen. There's little scratches keep building up. So when we do those meditation, we listen to those things, we can clear those emotions by forgiving, right? By forgiving and remembering that we are just learning. And finally, my right leg is about look for positive in every situation and everything. Now, this is not always possible to look at everything, especially when it's a death in a family. And when a death happens, there's so much residual effect with ourselves and other family members, and there's so much goes on, right? But looking for positive is really hard, because I remember it was January 1st, 2022. No, 2023. A friend of mine, I didn't even know them that much. His wife, she died, and she was about our age. She had cancer. One of the nicest people I ever met. And this is not just by saying nicest. I mean, she was amazing. So nice and compassionate and caring. Like, she used to have Facebook updates and all that about her situation. She has 4 kids, and then she died. It was night of December 31st or January 1st of 2023. And I felt so sad. I met her in person only like maybe 3 times. And that I always try to do some New Year's resolution. And in that new year, I wanted to create that resolution that look for positive in every situation. And I thought about that before January 1st, because you kind of start thinking about your resolution before you do it. And when that happened, and I'm like, okay, how can I look for positive in this situation, right? It wasn't easy, because she died at 40 something, early 40s, and then her husband and 4 kids, and the youngest one was, I think, 3 years old. The oldest might be 10 or 12. She did, I don't know, I still don't know, it's hard. She did connect with many people. I used to pray, and I used to comment on Facebook, and then I saw many people who don't know her, I mean, from Europe and wherever, like they would have the goodness in their heart and pray for her. Maybe that's many people's lives were touched by her. I don't know, that might be the goodness. So sometimes it is really hard to look for the positive with death. But many other things is you just keep looking, and sometimes, if you can find the goodness in certain situation, just try to look for the goodness in the positives in other situations, because then it'll become a habit, right? Because that's what we got to do. We got to look at the positive to spread the positivity and peace in the world, because Thich Nhat Hanh would say that, like, by being compassionate, or by praying for people who we don't know, or by praying for people who are suffering, who even caused us suffering, we are making the world a better place. We are making it more peaceful. So, we owe it to the world, we owe it to the next generation. So yeah, we just got to continue doing that. I know I talked a lot today. It's almost an hour. I can't believe I talked that long. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful that there is this opportunity to do that. 10 years ago, I couldn't do that. Now I have this iPhone where I can do this video, and I am in my midlife. Someday, this event might become my own survival guide at another time. Because in life, it's a cycle. Challenging situation, good situation just keeps happening and cycles sometime. And we just have to remember to nourish the good time. And in challenging times, we have to remind ourselves that everything is impermanent. Everything and every person, every situation, everything is impermanent. We come alone and we go alone from this world. So yeah, we just gotta remember that. And who knows, someday this could become someone else's survival guide, right? We don't know. Sometimes I hear stories from people that helps me to look for the positive in things, and that makes me stronger. So yeah, sometimes we just don't know. We just gotta do what we can do, and then help people, and remember the goodness of the people, and look around us and focus only on the good, right? Because that will help us to also be the good person in the world and spread happiness. Okay, with that, I talked a lot today. Anybody watching these videos and commenting and inspiring me, thank you from the bottom of my heart. You don't know how much it means to me. Especially when my family is in India, I don't always get to talk to them. These days with my doctor's appointment, this and that, and the time difference, I get to talk to my mom even less than I used to. I'm really hoping that the doctor's appointment kind of gets into some sort of normalcy soon, and then I'm able to talk to my mom more frequently. That would be nice. She's much older. She goes to bed early, and then here the time difference, and it becomes a little challenging to match up the time and talk to her. But I have my friends, and the other day one of my friend, her mom, is supporting me like my own mom, which is so nice. But anyway, I am finally going to finish the video. It's such a long video today. Oh my god, this is the longest one so far. Okay. Again, setting intentions and visualization for me and my day to go good, and any of the folks who are here supporting me. Actually, I'm setting a good intention and visualization for all of you to have a good day, good weekend, and a good week, and good rest of your life too, if this is the only time you get to come here. Trying to spread peace and positivity for all of you too. Thank you. Bye. And remember to smile. You get more by giving it away, like Dale Carnegie says. So smile.